sound, back to the sound.
Well, maybe I'm done, maybe I've lost. Still putting up a fight because I love my mom, I love my family. When I was young, they would all look after me. I don't know why, but I feel like a burden. I spend my life overthinking my purpose. Can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma keeps up at me at the wrong moment. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. To numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain.
A broken glass while I'm thinking in my head. I mind my own, I don't even break a sweat. Oh, matters is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's time to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. Untold stories, they were left behind. Silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This madness is insane. Why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's time to hear the lights under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. Rise up from the ashes, wings on my back, stay lit like a matchstick. We ain't coming back, I swear. Just let go and see what happens. Gotta let go to see the magic happen. They got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I'll just buy a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. So we like them in phase. I'll just buy a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. Born in the darkness, fight for the light. If this ever die, I'ma fight for my life. Keep fighting on, yes, I keep fighting on. We keep moving up, you can't hold us up. So I am up above the clouds. So I can't see the ground. So I ain't coming down. So no, I ain't ever coming down. Rise up from the ashes, wings on my back, stay lit like a matchstick. We ain't coming back, I swear. Just let go and see what happens. Gotta let go to see the magic happen. They got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I'll just buy a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. The zero gravity, they got us a quick change, so we like them in phase. I'll just buy a new watch, time to make my wrist ring. The zero gravity keeps elevating me. So I am up above the clouds. So I can't see the ground. So I ain't coming down. So no, I ain't ever coming down. I can feel how I'm changing. I don't know if I'll ever go back. All the ways that you make me, build me up on the things I lack. I don't ever wanna lose you now. Cause I don't think I'll make it here now. Cause it's you and only you. 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 I don't know where the time goes, just flies when I hold you close. In my arms with your eyes closed, for the first time I've got hope. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I don't think I'll make it here without. I don't ever wanna lose you now. I don't think I'll make it here without. Cause it's you and only. Cause it's you and only. Cause it's you and only. Because it's you and only you.
baseline gonna make man shut up.
Whatever, all this ever, but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you. My shoulder, done with my cigarette. And when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away to you, the weight to you, the weight to you. Don't need a no man. Tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulder. Done with my cigarette. And when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away to you, the weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need a no man.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hit your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah. Loves that I'm a goat. They don't want it, yeah. They scared of what I know. Told you the budget, yeah. I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, yeah. A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah, I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. Yeah, I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah. Loves that I'm a goat. They don't want it, yeah. They scared of what I know. Told you the budget, yeah. I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, yeah. A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah, I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. Yeah, I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah. Yeah.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, oh, oh. And when I fall to thee, will you be there when I wake to say anything? to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, a minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, maybe then I'll get to save me. A superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, oh, and when I fall too deep, maybe then I'll wait to save me. Started out a whisper, message from a new world I'd never known. Something about it felt like it'd been waiting my whole life. Is this home? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around when I start to sing. And suddenly it feels like heaven's not so far away. Tell me, can you hear the symphony? Panic, panic, I can't help but think that it's meant to be, that I'm finally right where I'm supposed to. If I let you into the secret, would you listen? I can hear each sound calling my name, and I feel angels around when I start to sing. And suddenly it feels like heaven's not so far away. Tell me, can you hear the symphony? Panic, panic, And before too long, I found where I belong. I can hear it, I can hear it, oh. I can't stop the rush, every note I touch. I can feel it saving me. Tell me, can you hear the symphony?
My name came up a lot of sounds, more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. Unless you heard it from me, then you ain't heard it from me. Got it from me, all the energy jam. All black, MZ, still screaming out that chain gang. When I'm bringing it to you, couple hits to the face. I know that I need time now, so I gotta call find my way. Why they wanna move like that? Why they wanna move like that? Why you want gone? Why you want act like that? Why you play hard? Get girls but ain't a gallus. So shit but ain't a killer. I held a gun but ain't a killer. Can I keep it any realer?
Hey, I'm kind of glad you didn't pick up. I kind of just called to hear your voice. I miss you. I've been thinking about you, and I've been thinking about our love, and how much I miss you. I miss being around you, hearing your laugh and holding your hand. I think of you every day. I hope and I wish that you're doing okay. I want us to go back to the old days, because I miss you, and I just thought of you. The idea of you listening to this, the thought of you on the other side of the line, I can't hang up. I don't want this to end. Not again. I don't know if you miss me too, but I hope you do. Even if things never go back to what we were, what I became so used to, what I thought would be forever.
Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof. Cause you fucking love it when I feel it. Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof. Cause you fucking love it when I feel it.
Just hear your TV quite loud, that's all.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it down now. And we're live. Hello and welcome to Forever Formula One, I suppose. First actual Formula One stream we've done. So, yeah, I was trying to bring our TV volume down. I think mine's down. If Vaz still hears yours a little bit, if you can bring that down a little bit.
Sorry, Max was on the screen, so I had to crank it up at a
I
stage.
have to see what he had to say.
That's it. Hang on.
Are you a Red Bull boy?
Yeah, absolutely. Red Bull
Yes.
and Max Verstappen fan.
Big Well, I these days I can probably admit that I'm a Ferrari fan. It's been a tough couple of years.
Yeah, but the car's looking unbelievably. It's probably the biggest like turnaround I've seen in F1 in a long time. Like from such a high to such a low to such a high
Back
again.
to I
Now.
know. I mean, like could we not just be average for a bit, maybe?
Yeah, no, exactly. It was either like terrible or now the best. You know.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how much you've watched over the past this weekend, but the weather seems to be holding a little bit. It looks like it could be a bit raining later.
Yeah, no. So I saw 40 to 60% chance of rain this weekend. That's what they were saying. And they're saying the weather's unsettled, Steve. That's the word that they've used for it.
Weather's unsettled. I mean, basically, it's nice fancy way of saying we actually have got no idea what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
We pay the big bucks for all the coverage and stuff like that, and what do we get? Yeah, the weather's unsettled.
No, that's exactly it. But I'm interested to see what tires everyone's going to go for to start on, because Imola is a track where your choice of tire off the start, you can use any tire. You can go soft, medium, or hard compound. So I'm excited to see what most of the guys are going to go for. Obviously now with the sprint qualifying and the new rules, bro, you're not forced to take your tire choice that you qualified on. So now the guys can do anything. It's actually my least favorite of all the rule changes. I just don't like I feel like it makes the qualifying more exciting. Like, one, it makes the qualifying more exciting of guys trying to set fast laps on the tires that they're going to use. And then number two, it makes it interesting for the next day, because essentially the weaker teams usually have like an opportunity to just change compound and create like a better strategy based off of what they know the better guys are going to start on. So,
but
certainly my least favorite.
An interesting weekend in terms of qualifying and stuff like that. But Merck just they came in and say no, we sorted things out and stuff like that, and still very much off the pace. I mean, we've got Hamilton down 14th on the grid. Yeah, I'm quite keen to see what he and Vettel will do off the start. Actually,
the thing is it's not going to be the same as it was last season. Last season when Hamilton, like when he took the grid drops and everything in Brazil, it still was the fastest car. So, but by such a long way that they could do all these incredible overtakes and do all that sort of stuff. But this season, like we've seen Hamilton when he's at the back, he doesn't really all of a sudden magically win a race or come in like the top three. You know, it's not the same as it was last season. I don't like. Obviously, he'll climb up places, but it's not that exciting Hamilton that we know from the back. You know,
that was the nice thing about last year, is that you'd look at qualifying, you're like, oh my goodness, Hamilton's down on 14, but you know that he's gonna, first of all, he knew he was gonna score points, and podium was. At one stage, almost expected the way that car was going so well. You know, it was like he was going to climb. You could climb up to 10 places in a match, and they wouldn't really worry about it.
He could be last, and you'd be like, this guy can still come first. I mean, that the races that he had in Brazil, when they changed their engine or whatever it was, they'd taken a grid penalty. They did it on the sprints, took the grid penalty, came back, managed to qualify like 10th in the sprints, and ended up coming like second or something. I can't remember what he did in Brazil, but it was one of the most impressive drives I've seen of him.
Yeah, but I'm just so glad that, because I don't want to be that person that says I only support when you win, but it was, as a Ferrari fan, it's been tough watching Formula One the last few years, because first of all, we've been absolutely nowhere.
Dude, are you a Ferrari and United fan?
Yeah, why?
No, I'm just saying that's a real slump both to your team.
Yeah, I know. It's been tough, dude.
Dude,
and then a Lions rugby fan, dude. So trust me, when I say I've been to the worst and the best in all my teams, and then obviously a Protea fan for cricket as well. So it's been emotional. I don't like myself as basically what the summary of my sporting teams were.
Exactly. Jeepers. Yeah, because United have also been dog shit, eh? Jeepers.
Yeah, no, it's not gone well there. Yeah, so Ferrari actually started. So basically, I mean, it was when I grew up watching, obviously, when Schumi was racing. Yeah. And how could you not support him the way he was driving? Because my dad, you know, I supported the same sports team for everything for my dad. So Formula One, so I wanted to do something different, and Ferrari was just so good at the time. So it kind of just made sense. McLaren.
Okay, it's a cool team to support.
Yeah, well,
you find a lot of the older generation. Formula One fans tend to lean towards McLaren because obviously they were a lot bigger back in the day than what they are now.
Yeah.
Or not, a lot better, let's not say bigger. But McLaren's also got a great two set of drivers. I really enjoyed Daniel Ricciardo and Lando. Like, what a cool
Yeah,
team.
then they're nice personalities. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't not love Ricardo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone's basically who's born in Formula One. It's their team, their favorite driver, and then Ricardo.
Yeah. That's exactly it, dude.
Right. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that the audio is. If you're watching, please can you let us know if the audio is okay, because I actually can't hear what the audio that's going out onto the stream is like. So please give me a shout if you guys can.
On my phone, Steve. Let me just turn this mic off for a sec.
Listening a bit of footy actually. There's a power nap.
Yeah, bro, it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Lacquer. Well, yeah. So,
Perfect.
adding something a bit different. I did a 3 flipping rugby matches in a row yesterday. It was pretty exhaustive. It was some decent rugby to watch. So, a new offering on Fair Sports. We are trying to diversify a little bit and try and bring a few new things. The Long Grass podcast dropped today, and if you did watch it, I apologize for the horrendous audio. Unfortunately, load shedding, bit of needs must there.
Did it drop today, Steve?
Yeah, so it's on. So the video dropped today. It was obviously on Spotify and stuff like that on Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've checked our TikTok channel, but I dropped it when you roasted me in the on the shooting 80s part. So I thought I'd try and make some momentum on the whole becoming a TikTok star.
Dude, I thought. Oh, hello. Sorry about that. I was literally opening the TikTok now as we spoke. No, dude, I saw our TikTok channel is definitely getting a bit of momentum. It's certainly one of our better platforms, it appears. It's weird. It's just like TikTok's got such good algorithms. Like, I don't know.
TikTok, it's in terms of like tailor-made content. The last month it hasn't been great. I don't know what's gone on, but in terms of like, I've never known a platform where you can literally spend an hour on it. Not even. You can log on for the first time, spend 15 minutes on it, and by the time you get there the next time, it'll just have everything that you want to watch. I don't know how they've done it. It's the recommendation that puts YouTube to shame. It puts Instagram to shame. It puts like Spotify Music and stuff like that. It puts it all to shame. It's so good at picking up. If you
dude, I just saw that video now. It's so funny.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed, dude.
That's a good one, eh? Oh, it's world class. I'm just gonna get some water and then let's get locked into this F1, eh?
Yeah, lacquer. So we do have a poll going in the comments about who you're backing to win today. So, which car will win today? So, as opposed to a driver. So, you can vote between Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren. If you've got somebody else that you'd like to jump in there, then drop the link as well. When the race starts, we'll have a live tracker going at the top there. We'll have live timings on the left-hand side. So everything that you'll need is going to be on the screen. So, I mean, you can even mute us if you think we're talking shit and still be able to follow the race, which is quite lacquer. Did you watch the first practice?
I didn't watch the first practice.
Dude, they were nowhere. It was so wet. It was actually. I actually don't know how they went out, to be honest.
Was it just completely soaked?
Everyone was just spinning out. Like everyone. Like Leclerc was spinning. Bottas, I don't know how he didn't go into the wall towards the end of it. Guys were just nowhere.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Obviously, weather's going to play a big part, but as you said, it looks like it's behaving. It doesn't. I'd be shocked if it ends up raining from here.
I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It looks very light over there.
Yeah, very light. Like those don't look like rain clouds, No,
it looks
overcast.
But I mean, it is Europe, so
yeah.
What is Europe if it doesn't rain?
Yeah.
So do you see any surprises today? Do you see anybody climbing up the grid?
Not necessarily, Steve. As I say, I think the top guys, it's really between Max and Leclerc is the main watch. Obviously, K-Mag's been doing well. I see him on the screen there, 8th. But I don't see it's not really like there seems like there's such a big gap between. Already, there's like a bit of a gap between Ferrari and Red Bull. Obviously, now Max managed to do quite well, but there seems like there's a gap between them. But then from Red Bull down to the next one, there's such a big gap that it's like there's no one else that can really fight for that position, not even the Mercedes or anything like that. So I don't see anything too surprising today. I'd like to see Ocon have a real go at it today. Obviously, he had gearbox issues, so he's a bit low down on the grid.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Magnussen actually. I think it's cool to see him suddenly just come back and drive like a man possessed.
Yeah, especially considering he suffered in that Haas car for so long, dude.
Yeah. I'm enjoying all the comments about the Ferrari comparisons and Gunter coming out and saying, yeah, as soon as you do well, everyone's envy. Man is having such a good time at the moment.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for this, dude.
No, dude, a lot of people like old Gunter Steiner as well. He's so banter.
Yeah, he's just like a cult hero. Yeah, and he just doesn't give any. He just doesn't care. Eh? Like he just says what he wants when he wants.
How were your 3 rugby watch-alongs yesterday, Steve?
Yeah, they're pretty lucky actually. It was the Bulls one was quite cool. Lots of points scored there. The Lions one was pretty heartbreaking as a Lions fan because we should have won, didn't. And then the Sharks weren't. I don't know. Some people were saying I was being too harsh, but I just wasn't very impressed with them. But they weren't bad. The numbers were back up. Everybody's back on the channel, which is quite cool to see.
Okay. That is nice.
And hopefully like stuff like this will be something that we can continue doing. Probably try and do a bit more. Right, here we go. About to go up on a warm-up lap.
Yeah. You gave me a fright, dude, because I was like, I'm sure there's still formation lap, and now here we go. I'm waiting for
lights out and away we go.
Yeah, whoa. There we go.
I mean, it's amazing how
Inters on it. It is actually wet out there, Steve.
Cross. I didn't expect. I mean, it didn't look that way, did it?
No, not at all. It didn't even look like it had been raining, but they got the inters. That's going to make for an exciting start. It's and hopefully, you know what? When it's like this, you actually want it not to rain. Like, let the track dry up, and then people are going to have to do strategy. So they were saying that the strategy is obviously a really big part of Imola because it's quite hard to overtake. So Imola's always traditionally been like a really difficult track to overtake. Only one DRS zone. But it was pretty cool because yesterday the sprint racing was probably one of the best sprint races we've seen in a long time, and like one of the better ones. And it was surprising because there was actually a lot of overtaking as well. So obviously these new cars are a lot better for overtaking and whatnot. But it's all about strategy today, I think, Steve. All the cars that are similarly matched, it's going to be quite difficult to get overtaking opportunities. So for me, the guys that take the right strategy today are going to win it between Max and Leclerc.
Yeah, I think I'm worried about. I hope he doesn't get too. You see, you're already seeing a bit of a slip there from. Like, I just hope he doesn't get too wet and we get too many accidents. We get a safety car. And look at the fans, eh?
Yeah, it's cool, eh? It's because they know Ferrari's back, eh?
Well, that's the thing, dude. As an Italian right now this weekend, Ferrari's back. The flares are out.
Yeah. No, you and all your boys are at the Grand Prix. It's world class.
Dude, look at that.
Jeez. It must be so festive there, hey?
I grew up thinking that F1 would never be like a massive bucket list thing for me to go and watch live. But like the older I get, the more I see stuff like that. I think apparently it's actually wild when you go there.
Yeah, no. So you know which Grand Prix? If I had to choose a Grand Prix to go watch live, I'd go watch the USA Grand Prix just because I've seen like TikToks and there's so many different activations and stuff going on there. You can become like a pit crew member and they've got like festival rides and guys shotgunning beers in the car park. Like it looks like so.
I can imagine, dude. Because if there's one thing the USA no, it's how to put it in an event.
No, exactly.
I reckon that Vegas race is going to be unreal.
Yeah, dude. On the strip as well. I mean, come on.
If I had the money, I think Monaco would be incredible to go to, but you have to be like stupidly rich to be able to do it properly. You know, when you're sitting on your yacht and stuff like that.
Monaco is nice, but that's like too classy for me. You know, I'm looking for that Rhodes Jaw. Let's go, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not looking for the UCT of races, and Monaco is too boring of a race these days. I think.
Yeah, well, you don't. That's the thing. You don't go to Monaco. I mean, people will say that if you're a racing fan, you know, you don't wait for Monaco, but it's just the whole history behind it and
here we go, Steve. Now the lights on.
Now the lights are about to be off, and we are about to go.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Max looks like he's had a great start there.
Yeah, good start there. Looks like Perez coming on the inside as well. Yeah, Perez moving second. All the McLarens come through there as well. McLaren next. next to Science. We've got the two Red Bulls in the
Oh,
front.
someone's taking a bit of the grass.
There it
as
is.
well.
McLaren into third, then Leclerc, then McLaren. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh my goodness! McLaren's hit the Ferrari. They're both off. The McLaren looks all right. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the Italians are about to invade the track here.
Yeah, that's going to be an invasion on the track.
Well, the Red Bulls are away. One McLaren's okay. We've got another Ferrari in the back there. I think it's Leclerc actually went out.
Oh, that would be heartbreak, eh?
And that's Mercedes has moved up a little bit there.
Yeah, it looks like Max is also getting away quite nicely from the pack here.
Yeah, so I think it's Science that's in the fourth there. I'm trying to work out which McLaren's in there.
Yeah. But that looked like absolute madness there.
I want to see the replay.
Yeah, and as they were all off, I just saw all this water spraying up at once, and I'm like, how can anyone see what's going on here?
And it's just me. I'm about to say the Ferrari's still out there. He's done. He's beached. That's Science. It's out.
Yeah, that is Science.
No, man,
That's
get him
so
out.
disappointing, eh? Jeez, that took them a while to get there, eh?
Well, I didn't see a McLaren, so it looks like Ricardo's back on the track then.
Yeah.
Oh, safety car. You see, there. That's what did I say? What did I say?
Yeah, this is exactly what you said, eh? But let's see what happened here. Dude, the Red Bulls had an incredible start there. Wow. Oh, Lando as well. That is a fantastic start. Oh, I didn't even see it. I was watching the top three, and the Haas gets a spin out there. Oh, guys, I see we've lost Steve. I assume he'll be back temporarily. Good thing you got me to hold up the stream. I see it is wet out there. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm back there. Just froze a bit.
Back. Yeah, she certainly looks like it was. I just want to hear what he says. Yeah, I was about to say, it certainly looks like Daniel Ricciardo's fault there, tipping Science was ahead, and yeah, he just got the back wheels.
Living Australians, dude. Can't come in time to them for anything.
How disappointing is that? First lap to have such a big race challenger out.
Just on the weekly, sign a new contract as well.
Yeah, absolutely no visibility out there though, especially off that.
So what happens? Yeah, so he does drift across. Yeah, so you see.
Let's see. No, that's all Ricciardo. You got to give room. Oh, Ricciardo claiming he got pushed.
So where did he get pushed then? If he did get pushed,
it doesn't look like there's anyone. Maybe. Oh, I'm wondering if the Haas behind there.
But then that must have been Magnussen, because when we looked on Bottas, it doesn't look like he made contact.
Yeah, no. So that's Magnussen there, and then if I'm not mistaken, the Haas of Schumacher is going to go spinning out as well now.
Is that not Bottas there? Because that was why I had the radio talking about his front wing.
It is Bottas. It is. Bottas.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I mean, signed literally the week he signed his contract and everything.
I think the real big loser here was Max is going to suffer from this a bit, because he started to look like he was pulling away quite nice.
He was off very nice. I think both Red Bulls looked like they were off. So 20 incidents are not involving cars. Reviewed, no further investigation. Hectic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Max was really off to a nice start there, and then he also had Perez wedged in behind him, so it looked like Perez was going to defend anyone that was going to try to come through, and I actually think if Max was just going to have a pretty clean race from there.
Now this is where the sport is weird. Science is like, at least it was a sprint, I suppose, but like normal circumstances, here comes Ricardo, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you spent you qualified, you're looking good and stuff like that. You spent your time morning like hyped up and stuff like that. You did all the other side races and stuff that you've had to watch and stuff like that. And you're like, right, here we go. And 30 seconds later, you're like, well, that's my day done.
Yeah, that's time to go home.
You get back.
It's bizarre.
and you go back into the pit and watch 60 laps of
Yeah,
everybody
it's
else.
so weird. Like not many other sports I know are like that, where your actual competition time can be 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, literally, unless you like walk out and get injured, like pull your hamstring the first like minute.
Yes, which
But
is
it's
extremely unlikely.
yeah.
Whereas here, it's a lot more likely. Okay, so it looks like Red Bull are obviously looking at the slick tire option. It's certainly drying up a bit. I mean, there's not, and maybe they're not going as fast, but I'm not seeing as much water spray up here.
Yeah, I think also give it about 10 laps of them going around because there's no rain. I don't think there's any rain there. So I think that there we go. We got timing now going on the screen as well. So that's lekker.
Fantastic. Where are you pulling this timing from, Steve?
It's a couple of different platforms that we've got. So especially like the live track on the right hand side, that's is a data provider that we use for all our rugby streams and stuff like that, and we pull it from there.
It's very cool.
Formula one's lacquer with the live timing there as well.
Yeah.
And that's like live timing. Yeah. It's unreal how quick it is. Right, let's see it from 0.35, eh?
Amazing, eh? So they had the same reaction time, just obviously Max managed to have the better start there.
I mean, dude, this is madness, eh? When you think of the speed that you...
No, horrific, dude. Absolutely horrific. Like, all you can really see is the lights there.
Yeah.
Lando did great to get ahead there as well.
Yeah, it was really good. McLaren's all quickly.
Yeah, managed to wedge his way in.
Who we're on board with here? This is Ocon. Like this, you can't see anything there, dude.
And you know how fast he's going. It's absolute madness. I mean, this camera angle, it's like you've got to be a madman to do this.
You've got to have like no respect for like you must basically not like yourself. I mean, like yellow like things flashing on the steering wheel. For me, it's the steering wheel that like blows my mind. The fact that they're going to be like, I know most of them now will know where all the buttons are, but like having a little screen there saying like yellow flag. Like if you think I'm looking down for a second away from that track whilst I fly through at 200 miles per hour.
I've obviously got a little race sim, Steve, and like it's nothing compared to what these guys are doing. But even just the basics of like trying to drive, and you've got to like adjust your fuel for how you go into corners and stuff like that. Like you're doing fuel saving strategies the entire time. It's so difficult to like drive and try and push settings on your car. And you'll see these guys are doing settings every lap and adjusting fuel and doing this and engine mode.
It's mental.
Mad.
Dang. And the weird thing is, it's not like it was even that big of a crash, you know. Yeah. I mean, to have to retire after that is so. I mean, he was wheel to wheel, basically spun out.
And like nothing was his fault there, you know. It's not crazy.
But still, what a return for Perez, I mean, for Sainz when you think of where he was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Okay, so Vettel's team are obviously they say that rain might be coming within the next 20 minutes. So this is what I like to see, a little bit of testing weather could certainly give a change. And
so Russell's up 5, Vettel's up 4, Stroll up 4. So the Aston Martins were all quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Cheap as the Red Bulls are quick, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, he goes off and Perez says, well, I'll go with you. And McLaren, Charles Leclerc is right behind. There he comes on the outside. No.
It's amazing these new cars how bouncy they are. Cheapers.
Yeah, so they got the settings very wrong for George Russell on Friday. And I don't know how his neck didn't break, basically, dude. It was ridiculous when you were looking at that. Alonso and dude, Fernando Alonso, dude, they just never. I mean, he seems to just be getting better.
Yeah.
You see that he reckons he wants to race for another 4 years.
It's amazing, eh?
Because he's got a 2-year contract. Apparently, he wants another 2-year contract.
It's crazy.
That's quite cool. You see how the track's drying up.
Yeah.
Jeepers, Verstappen is moving out there. Yeah, this is an old Norris is being pulled in. Yeah. Right, so now Leclerc needs to do something today because I mean that's huge. Hey, to be to finish stone dead, no points, and Ricardo gone
Yeah.
past his lap there, at the back there.
Yeah, he has. He's obviously got the fresh inters on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Charles certainly looking for an opportunity, and I think these are the sort of things you want to get done rather sooner than later. And yeah, the smarter the sooner he can get this move done, I think the better for his chances today.
Hamilton moving up by the way, overtaking Alonso there. Yeah, there we go, Alonso. Have a go.
Jeez.
Jeez, where's the rest of his car? I mean, do you think he's aware that half his car's missing?
Hey, I'd love to know how that affects his car.
And when did it happen? Because that doesn't. I mean, something like that doesn't just fall off.
Yeah.
So there must have been contact at some stage.
They're showing us here. Oh, it just does come. It did.
So there must have been some previous damage, and then the wind and as you guys passed, took it off. Hamilton must have shot himself.
Yeah.
You're there driving, and some massive part just flies off past you. Like, hang on. There it is now. Max heading into this fastest lap. He's coming in as Alonso. I mean, you can't do anything with that, surely. And what are you going to do? Put a bit of duct tape over it?
I'm interested to see. Yeah, that's it.
They're tying the car.
Yeah. Dangerous for my fantasy team.
Someone's getting fired.
Yeah.
They sent a car out there that would have had a hole in it. Oh, I mean, that's like no Alonso, no Sainz. Like if you had to, like in terms of like the top 8 people you wouldn't want to see retire, they'd both be in it.
Yeah.
He's really opened up a 3-second gap. Come on, Leclerc, let's get a move on here.
That have been done that allow you to go from the intermediate tyres to the slick tyres. Trouble is, they'll be watching the weather radar as well. And if the rain is
yeah, I think weather's going to play. It sounds like weather's going to play quite a big part all of a sudden.
Here comes Charles.
You look at all the flipping. Oh yeah, there it is. Cheers.
That's it. It's a great overtake, eh? Wow.
Yeah, the Italians are losing it over there.
Okay, well, now let's see if Leclerc is going to be able to pull time back on Perez here and how quickly he can do it.
He's got what 3 seconds so far to.
But this is where where Perez is so good for Red Bull as a second driver. He'll be able to do a real, and he's so experienced that he can do a real good job at holding back Leclerc. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if you had to pick the best second driver, especially, I mean, just what we saw last year with that defense on with Hamilton, you know.
No, it's incredible.
Where I'm thinking, do you take the chance, like Norris? Do you go for the winner? You really think about protecting where they are.
They're looking at Fernando Alonso's side pod to see potentially if they can send it back out again. Did he make contact? Yeah, Mick Schumacher, as he got all out of shape, that left rear tyre punched rather a dent
in the Alpine, and that was the effect of it
So we might see Alonso yet, eh?
to a whole.
Yeah, so they're saying that they're gonna assess if they can get him back out there, but that is some serious damage. As you said, I don't know how they.
It doesn't look like. I mean, that's not like it's not like it's not like a front wing where you can just clip on a new one.
Yeah, I mean, if they send him out, I'd love to see what they do.
See, look at how those are the Mercs bumping up and down. Yeah,
Crazy.
that can't be like on your neck.
No.
Of 63 here in Imola. Max Verstappen leads. Sergio Perez, we're watching the battle between 10th and 11th.
Well, Leclerc has brought the time between him and Perez down by about half a second there, so I think he is catching him.
Russell's been on the radio complaining that tyres are starting to go off. He's been told to finally hunt down the wet parts of the track. The right-hand side tyres seem to be the ones that are degrading the most. He's not the only one.
Always love it when the drivers are like, "I've got no grip," and the engineers are like, "Hey, dude, deal with it."
Yeah.
Shut up. Like when Max was losing his shit in the first race, when he's like, "I've got no power, and they're like, "Well, our systems say that you've got power." So
Yeah.
it's like, "Hey, Oaks, I've got no power." They're like, "Hey, dude, it says you've got
Yeah.
power," and then he dies,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Okay, yeah, you probably didn't have power."
I know, how crazy was that?
Like literally, the engineer's like, "Dude, what do you want me to say? Everything's fine," and then he just stops, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, well, you're actually right. Our systems are wrong.
And you can just imagine the engineer rolling his eyes. This guy's just bitching because he's losing. Oh no, hang on, he's now okay. Oh, he's down.
Yeah. Max with another fastest lap.
Now opening up a nice lead here. So Stroll and Hamilton, that seems to be the battle going on here. George Russell, dude, the Merc seems to just be bouncing up and down so much more than the other cars.
Yeah, they clearly look like they're much worse off than everyone else. Oh.
What are you saying, right inside?
No, he was saying it's drying up. It's just drying up very slowly. So that's actually quite an interesting one. They said, Max, on like, what's your opinion on the conditions if there was to be a safety car? Because obviously, if a safety car comes in, you've got to make a decision on whether you want to pit, and that could be a game-changing decision there. So yeah, obviously it looks like it's starting to dry up a bit more, but Max there said it was drying up slowly. So I don't know. I actually don't know what the play is here, Steve. I assume you've just got to stick it out on the inters as long as you can, and the moment someone makes a move, you're gonna
it's kind of it feels like who's going to blink first, because everybody seems to be asking like what's happening, what's going on, but nobody seems to be sitting there saying, right, well, we're going to make the call here, we're going to change the tires, we're going to.
Yeah. See, so this is where if Leclerc was in second place, he'd actually be in quite a powerful position, because like they did, I don't think it was last week, the last Grand Prix, but the one before, where they pretended they were going to pit and forced Max into pits in the front, and ended up staying out and getting that track position, and it worked out for them, and they actually ended up winning.
Yeah.
They could make the move and force Max to pit the next one, or get Max to pit, and the strategy could be really nice if Leclerc finds himself in second. I think we've lost old Steve again. But it certainly looks like there's going to be some more rain coming back now. Williams communicating with Latifi there that rain expected in the next 10 laps, and that matches what Vettel also got from his team, that rain would be within the next 20 minutes, even less than that. So I'm sure guys are going to certainly stick it out on the inters, and then the moment it gets a bit wetter, it's all about the point where you're going to have to change from your wet tires down to your intermediate tires into your wet tires. That's going to be the strategy, and I think that's certainly going to play a big role in what's going to win this race today. What are we seeing here? Russell going for Magnussen here for 5th place. Good to have you back, Steve.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sort out other blooming streams in the background here, but yeah, so I got straight out of the gym. I had my on-site for family bride because my brother's wedding anniversary.
Yeah,
and I thought Formula 1 was 3:30. So I was like, no, it's chill. I'll leave just after 3, get home and stuff like that. And then my brother said, no, it starts at 3. And I was like, you. There's a bit of rallying there, but oh, and here comes the. Yeah, he's through, and then Bottas is like, "Yeah, thanks, chap. You want to make a mistake? I'm with you." Yo, Bottas is holding a big R by Merc. Okay? You can just see how, like, I don't think he gives a damn what happens this season as long as he starts as he can find a couple of finishes over Merc.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I'm sure he'd love to beat Hamilton.
17 years ago today, Fernando Alonso won the San Marino Grand Prix here at Imola and had an amazing battle with Michael Schumacher, won by a couple of tenths. A year later, there was another great battle, Schumacher winning out.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Yeah, the Russell's got the pace. Yeah.
I'm just trying to look. This is
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, Russell through on Magnussen. But Bottas is all on the back there as well.
It looks like he's going to try and make a move now.
He's going to have a go. There he is. Bottas on the outside. No, he stays in.
Yeah, he just had a look there, and obviously saw there wasn't enough
look see here.
But he's still close, and he's going to be quite close off him out of these turns.
Wild see a Mercedes battling with a Haas and
never. Okay, well, we're going to see here again.
He's close there.
Yeah, he's right on him. Certainly looking for an opportunity, looking on the outside as well. Again, just another look. He's hungry to get through here. I think he wants to get this move done quicker than later.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something in this lap, I reckon.
Yeah. It's just hunting him down. Jeez, right on him now.
Some light class 0 to 1 rain within the next 30 minutes.
Class 0 to 1. What the hell does that mean?
I'm assuming it's some form of communication that it's very light rain, you know?
Class 0. This is why I couldn't be a driver, because they'll be like, listen, there's going to be class 5 to 6 rain. I'm like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah. Just tell me how late this is going to be.
I'll probably have like a little crib sheet in the car, like with the codes and stuff like that. Like, and they're like, we're going to be doing strategy. Who's that now?
I think that was
an Aston, eh?
Yeah, Stroll just got out of place a bit.
Oh, there he goes. Bottas on the outside. Just to get to him on the corner, though. He's going to have another go. Is Magnussen? No, but it looks like Bottas is through. Yeah, he's well through.
Yeah, and that was, as you said, we're gonna see it on that lap, and there it is. Let's just see if he can confirm his place there. Yeah, and he's away, so that's
yeah. Now we've got Aston Martin who's reeling him in. So we've got Vettel now chasing down Magnussen.
But what's happening with the Haas? It's really looking like it's going quite slow all of a sudden. I don't know if the conditions has really like played against them here, because the car is just not looking like the pace that we usually see them at.
No, I mean Russell wheeled in quite quickly, and then Bottas took one lap, and Vettel's already seems to be on the because Hamilton behind Stroll.
Crazy to see Hamilton in the battle for 10th, with Lance Stroll. Never.
And it's the battle for 10. It's not like it's a case of like
the overtake.
He's going to get there, you know. It's just inevitable. He's working to get there.
Well, this is George Russell's move on Kevin Magnussen.
There's so much pace down that straight. I mean, the Haas was at no chance there.
Yeah, just came on the outside and then got a little out of shape. A little bit too wide there. Yeah, it is very good.
And I love it. As they're battling, and then you just see Bottas popping up like, how's it, chaps? Yeah, it's a nice angle here.
Yeah, it must actually be quite difficult with the overtakes, because obviously where people are driving is where it's drying up. But when you've got to do an overtake, you're going into the wet area. And typically, when you're doing your overtakes, you want a late brake and whatnot. And you're late braking on the wetter side, so it must make it quite difficult. So that's good work from George and Bottas there.
Race leader is just struggling for grip a touch, and I'm not surprised. We're on lap 15, and we've been on these intermediate tyres right from the start.
Yeah, so who's going to bring? I mean, he's got a six second gap here. I reckon he should be looking to pit quite soon here.
Yeah, I mean, if he's sliding around, you certainly don't want to risk your race. Problem is I don't know, what does he go on to? Does he go back onto new inches now, or is he gonna?
Yeah.
Because if rain is predicted, you certainly have to hold out. You can't now try put softs on or mediums or anything like that, because you'll completely get out of shape. And obviously, you can't put the wets on, assuming there's going to be rain.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's gonna rain, eh? I'm still not sure if I'm backing this weather shout.
Well, I mean, both Vettel's team said there was going to be rain, and I forget there was another race control now. It was the Williams to Latifi saying they're expecting rain within the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, class 0 to 1. Between
Yeah,
0 to 1.
that's actually a different team's call
Yeah,
from Williams. But yeah, that's 3 teams now that are predicting rain within a similar time frame. And yeah,
I would love to know each individual role in that garage. You know, I mean, are you the dedicated astrologist?
Yeah,
sitting there like, right, chaps, it's gonna be class 0 to 1. Right? So maybe that's why they got turned. He's like, I need to justify my position, so I'm gonna come up with code words.
I need to really show them that I got a degree in this.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it. He's probably sitting there, like, oh, this is gonna be humdinger. I'm gonna hit him with the class 0 to 1, like salary increase on Monday. You know.
It's an awkward moment when they forgot to tell them what that means. And now the guys in the car like nipping, like, what does that mean? Like thunderstorms here.
I mean, Max is really starting to put some time on. He's going fastest lap on fastest lap. For someone who's sliding out a lot, I mean, he's already 7 seconds in the lead now.
And I think he's gained another second since he said he was losing control.
Yeah, but certainly Leclerc catching up to Perez is going to make for an interesting battle of second. I'm going to say it's too hard for Leclerc to catch up to Verstappen. So there's still a long way to go. Still certainly a long way to go.
I think it's going to be a strategy call here.
It is indeed what I believe as well. Strategy the whole way. And I think the rain is going to play a big part in what your strategy is. And if you get the strategy right, you can win today, you know. So I think this is setting up to actually be quite a nice race. I'm just very interested to see once and if Leclerc gets past Perez, how quickly he's going to start catching back up to Max Verstappen now. Like, because we're only 17 laps in of 63, you know, like, yeah, if he's reeling him in slowly, you could be looking at quite an exciting finisher.
Yeah, and then just need an update for possible safety car.
Wow.
Yeah, the Thai guy's not happy with that. He's like, I make the calls. Dude. What do you mean you want slicks? I decide what you get. Who do you think you are?
Six is obviously a very risky strategy. As I say, considering 3 teams have said rain within the next 10 minutes, you absolutely don't want to be stuck out there on slicks when it rains. We saw that from Lando Norris last year. I mean, that is a disaster.
Yeah, and if you have to then double box, then all that work you've done could be put. Oh, here we go. Ricardo's in. This is the second time he's in, by the way. So what's he putting on?
I'm sure he's going to go slicks. It makes sense to do that for his strategy. He's got the mediums on. I mean, he's already in last place. He might as well make the move and see, is this going to work out for us or is it not going to work out for us, you know?
Well, he's going to try and find, 8 places here?
Yeah, so, I mean, look, what I'm saying is that if he's got the right strategy, he's really got nothing to lose because he was going to come pretty, like he was last anyway, you know? Put the mediums on and let's see if these tires can really outperform and maybe get you a couple positions back.
Yeah, and for the next 5 minutes, every single team's going to be watching Ricardo.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ricardo definitely the one to keep an eye on. Let's see how he performs. Is it too slippery or is it... I'd also like to have another weather update. Know what class we're on at the moment, but certainly interesting to see what's happening with this rain. Because the slick tires might be the choice now, but if it's going to rain in 10 minutes, obviously it's not the choice. So I'm very interested to see.
And then, like as Ferrari, if Red Bull go on slicks, do you hold out?
Yeah.
You know, do you wait? And maybe try and see if you can then put the wets on.
We've got another one in the pits there. Yeah, that's Vettel in the pits making the move. He's obviously Gasly as well. Both in the pits. Hamilton
and Albon.
Right, so a lot of people obviously reacting to Ricardo. They must have got some data out that he's actually doing quite well. Because you're watching that McLaren. If you any of the other drivers, you're going to see how quickly you can get the data from that car. Obviously, had a good first sector, second sector, and they were right, that's it. Let's make the move.
Vettel's about to come out. We haven't seen what. Yeah, he's also on the mediums. Yeah, so all we have to react to is Vettel went on to mediums. Gasly, Albon, we still wait to see, but I imagine they're going to go the same thing.
Mediums, yeah, for Gasly, and Albon is
No way.
mediums as well. They've all gone mediums. So now this is going to be very interesting because now what's going to happen is
Hello, there we go. Red Bull's in the pits.
yeah.
That's,
Now
that's Perez, that.
see-
But Leclerc's going to go in as well.
I mean, I don't know if this is just a bluff for Max now, but this is very interesting to have Perez going in because he was going to be there to defend Leclerc. And
Yeah.
now certainly
Well, he
not
has got
gonna have
in.
that opportunity.
He has got in here, Leclerc, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is Leclerc hasn't pitted now.
Yeah, but the
So-
Ferrari team was out though, so they're going to put the next lap. It looks like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. It certainly seems like the strategy now to pit. Yes.
That's what commentators saying. They get Perez out in first, basically.
Yeah.
You'll come in when Perez says, "Thanks, Jas. I'll take first."
Yeah. Everybody
Right, there comes
pitting. It's
Hamilton.
amazing. A disastrous pits up for Bottas. So 11.8 seconds. They said something on his right front. Okay. There's a crash.
There's a crash. Apparently, there's a crash somewhere. Where there's a crash? I'm seeing it on our. I think it's Russell. Apparently, on the tractor there.
The pit lane's a mess. So this is one of the longest pit lanes of the season. 30 seconds, around 30 seconds.
Look at all
to
those
take the
guys
pits.
out there. Box. Yeah, you see here comes Leclerc.
It's amazing. Eh? The Danny Ricciardo just started an absolute,
And just everyone goes in, hey?
and he's just gone fastest lap as well. So actually, Danny Ricciardo's had the best.
Well, he's come out
strategy, eh?
15th.
How's that? Eh? Incredible.
There goes Verstappen. Here comes Leclerc.
Step in 2.3 seconds. They got to have to be perfect here. Oh, it looked a little
That's
bit
not-
long there.
Yeah, that wasn't perfect.
3.7
Yeah.
seconds. That's the opposite of what they want. Now we're going to see is Perez going to come out ahead of Leclerc, and you would assume so. So there's Max out straight into
There's
first
Max
place.
out.
Where's
We're waiting to see Perez.
and there's Perez, and
Yeah,
Leclerc's
so-
come out ahead of Perez. But now what's
Right, well,
happened to Leclerc? To Perez, he must have really had a bad lap there because he lost his position.
There we go. Incident involving cars. So Ocon and Hamilton. Unsafe release.
And here we go. Perez on the inside.
There's
Lovely,
Perez on the
lovely
inside.
overtake. Okay, they're saying obviously the tires were a bit warmer for him there.
Yeah, I had the grip there.
So now let's see what happens with Leclerc if he's going to warm up his tires and have another go at Perez now.
Right, so I'd say that there we go. Ricciardo fast lap again, by the way. So obviously, as soon as these tires get warmer, they definitely are faster. Right, yeah, so who's releasing unsafely here? Seems to be Merck.
Yeah, so Merck obviously got stuck up there.
I know it was there.
The unsafe release from Alpine.
Oh! And then you could almost argue it was also unsafe release by Aston Martin as well.
Yeah, let's see.
Yo, dude, that's when you know you're losing your job.
Oh, no.
And you just know there's quite a few superlatives. That must be the worst. Like, you know you're buckling. Everyone's shouting at you. Everybody's watching at you.
Yeah. And
you're
it's probably
just
just making the situation worse. Like, you're like, the damn gun's not working. And now everyone, Valtteri's probably screaming there. Everything's going on. You're like, just fucking please. And it must be, like, for me, there must be such an awkward moment when you failed to do your job correctly. So once Bottas goes away and everyone kind of walks back to the pits, like, are they like, you fucked that up? Or is it like, I'm so sorry, guys? Or is it
like, you know, just get through the race and then we'll come to you afterwards. And then you'll see Bottas as he gets out of his car, just like swinging, dude. Where is he? Bam! Bam! It's like a brawl.
Imagine you cost Bottas the race, and like when they cost Daniel Ricciardo the race at Monaco the one season, like how do you go back to them and be like, sorry?
My bad, dude. And there's one thing about Formula One drivers that they're not very reasonable guys when things don't go well.
Yeah,
they're not very forgiving. What's Christian want to say? Yeah.
Charles Leclerc certainly closed the gap on Sergio Perez, though. We're within 1 second already.
Whereabouts the rain expected to come in from first? I don't see the radar, but where are we expecting it first if it does hit the track?
And just to see if Ricardo can catch Hamilton because he was sitting a couple of fastest laps. Now Verstappen's gone fastest. Now Leclerc has gone fastest.
And yeah,
Yeah,
see,
Charles
obviously,
Leclerc's right there.
yeah, tires have warmed up, and here we go. This is going to be an important battle now for
What's
the
interesting
race.
is fastest. Now, what's interesting is the fact he's caught up with Perez so quickly. He's going to be able to actually start bringing in some ground into Verstappen.
Yeah, and I'm worried now that for Red Bull's sake that it's going to be an easy overtake because he caught him so quickly. Obviously, the tires were cold on that first lap.
Yeah, I mean he's going the fastest around you as Leclerc, so I think he's in trouble here.
Yeah, but Perez is so experienced under these situations. This is where the race can be won or lost. Here is whatever Perez can do to keep Leclerc behind Dolph Verstappen. Man.
Yeah, we're still very early on. Not even at the halfway point. It's something I never really thought about when I was young, is the fact that the track actually goes up and down. Like I was so convinced for years that it was just flat.
Flat. No, it's and sorry, Leclerc was right on Perez here.
There we go. I think he's just finding a gap there. Is
that your thing that's making a noise, Steve? What's that?
I can't hear anything.
Something that went.
I don't hear anything on my side, so
okay, well, it's gone now, so it doesn't matter.
It stopped.
Yeah, it's happened once before, but it's really not that bad. Here we go. This is it.
Come on, chap. Let's not get stuck behind him for a while.
Yeah,
now.
and Perry's really got to stick his elbow out here because anything he can do to disgruntle that Ferrari, obviously within clean racing, is what he's got to do here. It looks like I'm sure he knows that the Ferrari is eventually going to get the overtake. But as I said, this is where Perez is so good. He's so good at these sort of battles. Like that, he might let Leclerc go ahead and then he takes the position right back, and then Leclerc goes past,
Yeah, and just eats up like 5 or 6 laps of.
Yeah.
It's amazing how they drive up that line, eh?
Yeah, it is amazing. Max 7.6 in the lead. And yeah, look,
it's dying here.
And he's running sixth, still running sixth, ahead of Sebastian Vettel, who's having a tremendous race in the Aston Martin and was one of the earlier runners to go to the slick tyres.
As is Lando Norris, a very quiet race, but doing a very, very solid job. And Sergio Perez has reacted to the hurry up, and he's managed to go half a second quicker than Charles Leclerc in that lap.
Perez with the fastest lap in this race. Verstappen out in front. Red Bull have only got 1-2 finish in the hybrid era. Came in Malaysia 2016. Nico Rosberg, which wasn't a bad afternoon for you either, because I think Lewis Hamilton's engine blew up that day. Are we on course for another Red Bull 1-2 then today?
Well, that pit stop from Charles Leclerc, where he lost 1.4 seconds, that cost him second place today. It cost him dearly. And let's see here at George's pit stop.
So, George, we didn't get the flap adjust, so you'll be very shy of thereabouts. And was the gap feeling?
George Russell's troubles here, then, if they didn't get the... Yeah, so what way they go?
Understeer now. He's going to have a lot of understeer on that slick tire, which is going to cost him a hell of a lot of lap time. But let's praise him. He is in 5th place with a Mercedes, and because of the warmer temperatures, the Mercedes seems to be working a lot better today. And I mean, look where Lewis is. All fair and square. George is 5th. Lewis is 14th with the same car. So really fantastic job by him so far today.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. George Russell, brilliant start, and he's kept it going as well. But understand, Paul, if he is going to suffer from it, well, he's got quite a few laps.
Okay, we've lost Steve here, but it actually looks like Perez starting to catch up a little bit to Verstappen here, 7.1 seconds now. And Perez also pulling away from Charles Leclerc with 1.57 seconds. So it's very interesting to see what's happening here, Steve. Although we are going to lose him again. But yeah, Leclerc's starting to slow down and Perez starting to speed up a bit. Actually quite interesting.
Absolutely. Just looking here at the, there would be a DRS train if we had DRS at the moment. Right at the back of it, Lewis Hamilton is getting that much closer to Pierre Gasly. So there's some
Wow, what's wrong? I can hear you, but I can't see you, Steve. No problem.
But that was what the double wave yellows were for a moment. Hamilton looking at the rear of that AlphaTauri. He's still looking at the rear of that AlphaTauri. Ted, back to you. Okay, yeah, it's a good fight between Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly as well down the field. Albon, as he said, probably taking advantage of being one of the early stoppers
Right.
on the slicks. Drivers have been
Hamilton having a look at Gasly here.
away from the circuit.
We're going to see what happened with Mick Schumacher. There were double yellow flags. I assume this was the incident. And yeah, that's Mick Schumacher. Cheapers. You never want to be facing the wrong way like that.
Spun around. Well, this has not been a race Mick Schumacher will want to remember. Started in a career best 10th, currently down at 18th.
Unfortunate for Nick, but just too greedy on the brakes. You could see he was running out of space and had to take to the kind of left-hand side damp patch.
So I'm assuming that puts Mick Schumacher in last place. Daniel Ricciardo done really well, get to 15th, just behind Hamilton. And once again, Perez still catching up to Max Verstappen inch by inch here. Now within 6.7 seconds, we've got wheel to wheel with the AlphaTauri of Stroll and Tsunoda. Stroll's going to have a look at Tsunoda here. He's right on his tail, and he's having a look on the outside. And he's not going to get an opportunity on this turn, but still very close. And also bringing Ocon into play. There's a big blockage in the middle. So in the middle of this pack, actually quite an exciting race between everyone here. Yeah, on board with Esteban Ocon. I think he's having a look at Stroll over here.
Perez is just chipping away 3 or 4 tenths of that, and there are plenty of laps for him to get on parity with his teammates.
I think Max will be quite comfortable with that because all this while it was on his defend the tire, and here's this slow exit he had, and there's Stroll. Look at that bit on to keep your foot nailed there. Down into Ravazza. Perfectly judged by Tsunoda, just enough space.
Went on the outside, looked on the inside, didn't get an opportunity there. Did Stroll, but really well driven there by both of them. Some clean racing, wheel to wheel. That was obviously the first moment that we saw there, and obviously missed that opportunity. Although I don't ever think he was going to be able to get across, get through there. Moving back down, Perry still chipping away at Verstappen and holding a 1.6 second lead on Leclerc. So obviously Leclerc, as much as he is slowing down, it's not that much. Perry is obviously just starting to put in some really good laps, fastest lap after fastest lap. So it'll be interesting to see if how Max feels about that. Lando holding up in 4th place. Obviously Russell moved up 6 positions, 5th place. Bottas, Vettel, Magnussen, Tsunoda, and Stroll, top 10. But I think the most interesting part of this race is obviously in the middle sector here. We've got Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon all very close together in a bit of a bunch. And I'm sure one guy makes a move and it will affect everyone else. Give a couple opportunities here and there to make some moves. Should be exciting and should be interesting to see as this race develops. I'm pretty sure most people are going to stick on the mediums till the end of the race. Although it could be interesting to see how the tires degrade. I'm assuming that it's not as hot, so it might be a little bit easier on the tires. And they might be able to push these mediums onto the end of the race. So it'll be very interesting to see how the strategies develop. And as we've all been keeping an eye on the weather, class 0 apparently, we're still waiting to see if a bit of water ends up on the track, yeah. But it's certainly drying up. Outside of the weather predictions, drying up, not a lot of water splashing off, and you can really see where the drivers have been driving. Track's starting to dry up quite nicely.
Now, Sergio Perez, I said, was the fastest man on the track, but he has just had a moment of variante alta.
And something's happened with Perez here. He's lost all his time, and I'm hoping they're going to show us a replay. And that's got Charles Leclerc within 0.3 seconds of Perez. And we are right back on this, and that's got to be disappointing for Perez. He was just driving so well. He must have had some mistake. And we're already on Leclerc here, having a go at Sergio Perez. He's going to get away, not this opportunity. Yeah, it does look like the straight line for Red Bull seems to be their PowerPoint, but let's see what happens here. I'm sure Leclerc really desperate to get an opportunity to get an overtake on Perez. He probably was starting to feel like he wouldn't get another opportunity the way Perez was pulling away, and then all of a sudden he's in front of him. It's going to be very interesting to see what happened over there, and I'm sure Leclerc going to throw the kitchen sink at trying to get an overtake, because if he can even get an overtake for a little bit, certainly make a big difference to his race. Okay, so Schumacher obviously getting handed his penalty for cutting the chicane there. And here we go. Let's going to have a look at what happened with Perez over here. Wow. Just completely lost control, eh? I'm very interested to see if he gets handed any sort of penalty, because I think Mick Schumacher just got handed a penalty for the something similar. It doesn't look like there's a lot of talk about any sort of penalty, so I'm assuming he probably didn't gain too much of an advantage from that maneuver anyway. Yeah, as I said, if anything, it cost him a couple seconds. So. Max having a great race out in front, seems to be just driving the perfect race. Nothing too special, but obviously just consistently doing well. Perez now 9 seconds behind Verstappen, and Leclerc already 1 second behind Perez. So obviously the Red Bulls got the pace in Imola, and it's really proving to be the case. So I'm just getting a phone call. I'm trying to mute here.
Is Lando Norris, but it's a lonely race in form, and he won't mind that one little bit.
Okay, sorry, I just had a phone call there that distracted me for a little bit. We obviously the top three very interesting. Max still pulling away 9.5. Leclerc 1.5 seconds. Obviously had an opportunity there to have somewhat of a look at an overtake. Couldn't really do anything with it. Perez obviously is just too fast. Red Bull, their race to lose from here on out.
Lots of engineers say to drivers now, we want to go to the end of this set of medium tires, which is optimistic but doable, I guess.
Okay, as we hearing from the commentary, a lot of the teams are wanting to make it on the end on these tires. So this is the sort of thing we were talking about a little bit earlier. I'm sure everyone was going to try, especially with these conditions. The colder and wetter weather was going to play into the favor of lasting these tires out a bit longer. Again, strategy going to be very interesting, because you will have the option. It is a hard push to keep the mediums all the way out to the end of the race. I think initially, if you start on the mediums, you're looking at 22 laps, and I can't remember exactly what lap they're on, but certainly they're going to have to be trying to push these for a lot further than 22 laps. As I say, degradation is probably not going to be as bad, considering it's a little bit colder, so the tires won't be under as much pressure. But certainly going to be a very interesting point. I'm assuming that there's no more talks of rain, so the latest talks are going to be. So just got a message there. It's certainly going to be interesting to see, because teams are going to have the opportunity. Are they going to throw the softs on for the end of the race, or are they going to try and make it out on the mediums? And that could be the big decision that Max has to make, and the big decision that Leclerc is going to have to do. I can only imagine later on the race that Red Bull might gamble it with Perez, throw the softs on him, see what happens, depending on the degradation, because certainly these mediums come, I'd say 55 laps or so, are really going to start to degrade. And there we go. Okay, well, that's Daniel Ricciardo already throwing the hards on. So this is going to give Red Bull a lot more data to see if it's worth the move. Ricciardo's obviously been leading the charge in terms of strategy throughout this entire race. So yeah, let's see how that does for him.
Leclerc maybe not, because he's sitting trying to fight on the back of Perez. And do they take a chance? But they've got such a big gap, Perez and Leclerc, that it could possibly open up in front of Norris to get in and get out.
Okay. As I was saying earlier, I didn't get to finish my conversation or my thoughts, because Ricciardo pitted, and it was obviously an interesting point. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if Perez can be used here as a strategy for Red Bull. You back?
I'm back, yeah.
No, so obviously the most interesting point here is strategy-wise, what the guys are going to do here. It looks like the team radios are that they want to try to finish on the mediums, but it's obviously going to be a big push to keep the mediums out there. And Ricciardo's already changed to the hard tires, so Obviously,
he's made the first move again, eh?
He's made the first move again. So I'm sure everyone's gonna. So you can certainly finish the race on the hard tires from here. But I think the degradation come lap 50 on these mediums is seriously going to start to be questionable. So I'm very interested to see if anyone throws the softs on a little bit later.
Well, still no DRS, so overtaking looks going to be too easy.
Yeah, that's exactly what Red Bull's saying. So you also missed Perez was driving really well, and he actually missed the turn.
I heard it in the background that that he had gone over too much.
Yeah, he'd gone over too much, overcorrected, and cut the chicane. And before he knew it, Leclerc was on his tail, and Leclerc obviously had a small opportunity to overtake, couldn't manage it. But it's certainly looking like the weather's starting to take a bit of a turn, Steve. I'm looking at those clouds, and all of a sudden, those light grey have started to go to a much darker grey.
Yeah, I think the rain is going to be a big factor. But I mean, I just can't believe how quickly Verstappen's going. I mean, he's got 10 second gap at the moment.
No, it's crazy. So, I mean, that's the other thing. So, Perez also spun out. He cut the chicane in the last couple seconds, and he managed to pull away from Leclerc very quickly. So, Red Bull obviously got a great race pace on them today, and it is Red Bull's to lose at this point in time. It's just going to be interesting to see what happens once these tires start degrading, because it's going to be very difficult for these guys to push these tires as far as they're going to try push them. And there's Max with another fastest lap, so he's obviously not struggling just yet. Tires must be pulling in quite nicely.
Because obviously, an up and down season for Max. I mean, he has had 2 DNFs, 1 win, and looks on track to another win. So
crazy, yeah. I mean,
basically, all he needs to do is not crash, and the championship should be a bit of a walkover.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand like what's going on, because all of a sudden, this is probably the first race where we've seen that we can say, wow, for the Red Bulls really got the pace on this, because it's really been Ferrari with the pace. And I mean, now Perez pulling away from Charles Leclerc a lot. So I'm just trying to, it's really up and down season. It's great. And you know what's crazy for me, Steve? I was thinking about it today, is that, the whole of last season, you're like, I hope Mercedes slow down. I hope Mercedes slow down.
Yeah.
And now I kind of want them to do well, or anyone, because I just don't want what we've seen even last year, where it was Red Bull and Mercedes. You want an exciting battle up at the front. You could, if Merck still had a lot of pace that they did, and Ferrari and the Red Bulls were all in it together, it could be looking at one of the most exciting seasons we've had in ages. So it's actually a little bit disappointing that the Mercs are as slow as they are. As funny as it is to see, and trust me, I do laugh often. It's also a bit disappointing that they've just become so slow.
And I mean, it looked like at one stage that people were getting quite excited about the Haas being quite quick and stuff like that, but
it's never going to compete for the front.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's the same thing as 2 years ago when I think it was still Force India then, when they came in and they started to do really well. They were never going to win races, although they were right up there. But like you knew they were never going to win the championship. There was always going to be Mercedes to win that championship. So, whereas if Mercedes was fast, like in this particular instance, it would be a lot more interesting than just the Haas's getting fast. Like it's a nice story to see the Haas's coming from where they were to where they are now, but it certainly doesn't mean much in terms of the championship.
Yeah, 100%.
And CDRs has been enabled, so it's obviously starting to dry out there, and conditions are starting to come alive.
And hopefully the rain just stays away, so we can actually get a couple of DRS laps in.
Yeah. And Max that's what Christian Horner was saying, is that with DRS, Charles Leclerc probably would have overtaken Perez on Perez's mistakes. So they were quite lucky that there was actually no DRS. And now Perez is already 2.3 seconds away from Leclerc in this race. And Max looking at touching 11 seconds pretty soon away from Perez.
I mean, Max is going to get to a situation soon where he can, I mean, at the rate he's going, he can almost pit and come out first again.
So I'm very interested to see what Red Bull do, because they're actually in such a position of power now, in that the question is are these medium tires going to last to the end? And if you are taking them to the end, how much time are you going to be losing in those last 5 or so laps?
Yeah.
Because it's a long push on the tires. Initially, the tires were meant to go, if you started on mediums today, the correct or the pit window would have been around 22 laps. And I'm trying to think of when these guys switched, but I think it was around lap 20 to 18 that they've switched.
Yeah, I think it was a bit sooner.
So, they're lucky it's not as hot, so the degradation is not going to be as bad. But certainly come lap 40, lap 45, and I think even 50, these tires are surely going to take a big hit. And the question is, do you try to push your mediums and just do a one-stop strategy in the pit lane that takes so long? So obviously the pit lane takes 30 seconds here. Or
Yeah.
do you swap to the softs and just give it a last push at the end on really good track conditions, as long as it's drying out as it is, you know?
Well, interesting to see. I mean, Ricardo's not going to the hards, and it'd be interesting to see what he can do when everybody else starts pitting, where he's going to be able to find himself by the end of the race.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure everyone is keeping their eyes on Ricardo at the moment. Be very interested to see what sort of lap times he's been putting in compared to what he was with the mediums. But the hards still do take a bit of time just to warm up and get them into their sort of groove. So it doesn't happen as quick as you would with the mediums or the softs.
Yeah,
So
I think
Ricardo is certainly playing the long run here. And you know where Ricardo is really going to win is if it turns out that you can't take the mediums to the end, everyone's going to have to pit again, and Ricardo is going to soar up in positions if that is the case. And
I think that's probably the strategy, to say, right, come in, put a set of tires in that's going to take you to the end of the race.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad. And I mean, even now, he doesn't have to be that aggressive. He just needs to make sure that he's within, that he's close enough that when everybody does start pitting, that he can get past a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so then the question is, depending on what they go on, can he defend?
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm having a look at it now. 10. What's it? 10. He'd be jumping up to around 14th, give or take 30 seconds off the pits. Yeah, it's 20. Yeah, about 15th place. I think he'd be coming up now if everyone pits it as it was. And I'm pretty sure come the later part of the race, he's really going to start to make a bit of a charge as everyone's mediums go and his hards really kick in. So Ricardo, I actually think, is probably in the best position for like a position per place, if I could say that, like strategy wise currently.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody in that sort of 11 to 17 decides to go with the one stop, then I reckon that Ricardo's going to have a lot of fun towards the end.
Exactly. Regardless, I think he's having fun. Either he's battling people who are pitting and he's versing guys on fresh tires, or he's versing guys on some seriously digged tires.
Yeah.
And he's having a bit of fun out there. I'm just trying to see if he's getting any time back on Schumacher. But as I say, I think you're gonna have to give him until lap 45 to really have those hards have their proper effect.
Well, meanwhile, Leclerc seems to have closed the gap a little bit with Perez. At one stage, was sitting at about 2.3, and it's down on 1.6. But Verstappen is just opening it more and more the gap every time.
Yeah. So this is what I was saying, Steve. Now, if you Red Bull, do you say to Perez? If obviously depending on dig, but if say the mediums are really starting to struggle, do you say Perez, you put Perez in for the softs, see what happens, and if it proves that the softs are the correct tire, then put Max in, or is it going to get to a case where because you don't want to be waiting too long to make that move, because obviously if you make the move to the softs, you've got to do it in time that the softs have like a decent effect. You don't want to have them on for the last 3, 4, 5 laps. You'd like to get about 10 laps, 7 laps out of them or so. So be very
in which case, do you then maybe pitch Verstappen first and say to Perez, right, we need to hold Leclerc.
Exactly.
Or at least try to slow him down so that Max has time to put the heat into the softs and then really have a go.
And then obviously force Leclerc to do that pit, because if Perez can stay out in front of Leclerc and just really damage the tires a bit with some racing and whatnot on some old tires, it could really play into Max's hands. So as I say, I'm going to be very interested to see what strategy Red Bull go for. I think it's quite risky if they go, again, we're going to have to see how the tires dig, but be quite risky for them to try and just stay out the whole time. So,
and this is where and it's amazing how now we're seeing the benefits of sort of the team strategy. If science is around there, it's an entire different conversation. If you science sitting there fourth, Ferrari can then say, right, we're going to put Leclerc in, we're going to put him on softs. Science, we're going to keep you out. If the 2 Red Bulls pit, try and slow them down and see if Leclerc can get close enough for them, and then it's just a race towards the end.
Absolutely. And it's not even like Leclerc can now be, so as you say, if Sainz was there, Leclerc and them could be a bit riskier, but for Leclerc right now, I mean, say they had to make the first move, they don't want to lose track position by making a pit stop, and then all of a sudden they're in 10th, 11th place trying to just grind it out and no one else actually ends up pitting, Well,
if you were to pit now, I mean, there's 19 seconds between Leclerc and Norris, and then 7 seconds back to Russell and 9 seconds back to Bottas. So he probably would come back within the top 6 if he were to pit now.
So that's not the worst place to be. As I say, it would then certainly, if Max stayed out, it would be a long stretch to get back. But we got 23 laps left of this race, and I think it's setting up to be quite an interesting finish. I just would love to know what's happening with these tires.
And also the rain, because it's all very well saying, right, let's go to the softs.
Yeah, but if the
But
rain
if we
comes
do get
on,
the rain, then suddenly it complicates things.
yeah,
Because Ferrari must be sitting there thinking, right, we need to make a play here.
yeah, absolutely. And
I mean,
I'm
third's in the
looking,
bag. I mean, they've got 20
yeah,
seconds on the McLaren, so they're not worried about podium.
yeah. And I'm actually not seeing much happening from Daniel Ricciardo at the moment as well. Still 13 seconds behind Schumacher, so I don't think he's making any ground. As I say, we'll have to see over come 45 laps. It'll certainly be interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the lap times here on the graphics at the moment.
Yeah,
which don't seem to be updating, I think. Yeah, in fact, they're not updating at all. Give me 2 seconds. If really have to get the times updating.
See what Verstappen has to say. Okay, looks like Max reaching the back markers now. You don't want anything funny to happen here, especially on this wet track. Should hope for quite an easy overtake, and we'll see what happens. And there he goes on the first one. That was as simple as he wanted. And it looks like he got DRS there, actually. And he did too, which is fantastic for him. Okay, and as it stands, yeah, we've obviously got Verstappen up ahead. Perez 12 seconds behind him. Max just stuck behind a couple cars at the moment, hoping to make a nice move through all of them.
Yeah, so we now that the time's updating, I actually see. So it looks like in terms of the times that Ricciardo is recording, he's slow, eh?
He is slow. I think those hards really got to heat up, and it's going to take long just because of how cold it is. So maybe the hard's not the best decision, but soft certainly could be an interesting decision to move to on that at the end of the race. As I say, I'm not seeing a lot of people complaining about degradation, and I imagine around the 45 lap would be when we see guys start to complain. And if you don't see anything from there, it looks like a one-stop strategy could be the strategy here, and that I would imagine would see Red Bull a comfortable 1 and 2. If it is only a one-stop strategy, so I'm sure that's what Red Bull will be hoping for as this race progresses.
And if it does look like a one-stop strategy for Red Bull, we'll be interested to see a Ferrari then blink and say, right, let's have a go. Let's see if we can try and catch.
Yeah, certainly.
Even try and catch Perez. Because as I said, this straight, yeah, they'd probably come out just behind Russell.
Yeah.
I mean, we're what, 21 laps to go. So if you are going to go to the softs, you know, you're going to need to. We're going to have to see it probably in the next 10.
Exactly, in the next 10 laps. So yeah, I'd say you want to do the last 10 laps to 7 laps on soft is kind of your play if you do go for softs. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens. Ricciardo is still not getting any faster. I think he's still 13 seconds behind.
Yeah, he has taken 0.2 off his previous lap than to this lap though. He hasn't gone once under 1.22 at the stage.
Yeah, so I'd imagine him to just keep getting better and better. I mean, that theoretically for those hards, that's what you would see from Ricciardo. But still, I'd imagine it's not quite the effect he was hoping to have, and he's actually gone down to 14.8 now. So he's certainly slowing down.
Yeah, he just reported a 122.8, so he's basically well behind a second behind.
Yeah,
Schumacher at the moment.
Yeah, I see a 1.122 and Verstappen putting in 120s. I think he's just done another fastest lap there, has he, Verstappen?
Yeah.
Looking good in sector 1 as well. Yeah, so I wonder if Max got the DRS there. Sorry, my dog's going to be sad. Come, Jess. Come be famous. Come.
Yeah, bring in the views of the dog, dude. It's what we need. There we go, dude. I brought my dog onto this team, and I think it's the most positive feedback I've ever gotten in my life.
Is it, eh? Well, this dog gonna be famous then. Check it out.
That is a very relaxed dog.
Yeah, relaxed, eh?
That is listen, it's just another tough day in Africa.
Yeah. No, life not too bad, eh? Been swimming.
Right, so where's Leclerc here? So he's 120.7, so he's 0.5 off this is last lap from Verstappen and 0.3 off Perez. Yeah, so he's not going to. At this rate, the Ferraris are not going to catch the Red Bull.
No, absolutely not, Steve. 20 laps to go. As I say, the strategy is the only thing I can imagine, but it's not looking like the tires. As I said, I was thinking the mediums from around 45th lap, we're really going to start to see them dig. Doesn't look like it's happening as much as I thought it would. So that's playing back into the hands of Red Bull, and I'd like to see what happens as it ends here. But Max still driving consistently well. 12 seconds, nothing to worry about. Just don't make any mistakes, and you win this race, I think, at this rate.
And Ferrari, as I said, now it's decision. Are they happy with third? Are they thinking, right, thirds are great? We've only got one car in there. Let's not compromise a podium. Or do they sit there saying, no, we could get more of it out of this?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a big question because both Red Bull and Ferrari can put a go in for constructors, whereas last year it was never really about the constructors.
Yeah.
It was only like maybe Max can win the championship. So let's see what
There we go. Plan D, how does it look?
Yeah, you see, so Plan D was obviously put softs on it and have a go at the end here, but it doesn't look like the mediums are digging that much, so they're going to stay out and try and see if these.
I think he wants to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. See what happens.
So that's in many ways that's Ferrari just giving up the second. What the hell's going on there?
What is that, eh?
I don't know. It's not something I'd like to be driving over, going at
no
200 miles per hour.
Dude, how is this dog?
Can't say it's very interested in the race.
No. Didn't like that you said that either.
So yeah, unfortunately, I think we're in for a bit of a boring last.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the race in general has been quite boring. It's just one of those races, and I think that,
as we say that,
how Emilia is, not a lot of overtaking opportunities.
And no DRS doesn't help that either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing that was really going to be exciting was if the rain came to play, and it didn't really. It seems pretty simple. Probably the most exciting part of the race was the swap from the inters to the mediums when Ricciardo made that move and everyone had to kind of scramble to see what happens. But it doesn't look like the mediums are going to dig that much. So it's disappointing from a strategy perspective in terms of the race on how exciting it could have been. But
no, I mean, one stop at around 18, and since then, not much has changed. So
yeah, no, but there's still a lot of laps to go in it. But it doesn't look like Max and them are slowing down at all. So you're not going to make back 30 seconds in 10 laps on a soft tire. If you do make,
I'm surprised that Ferrari is not looking to make a play because it's now 24 seconds between Leclerc and Norris, so they're opening a big gap between them and the McLaren.
Yeah,
but the Red Bulls are opening a bigger gap on him.
See, but I think the problem is now so Leclerc's getting close to that point where he could probably pit and make it in front of Norris, so not lose position, but will he have enough time to then try and make back 40 sec? It'd be 33 seconds.
30 seconds on Perez,
give or take. Like, how do you make 33 seconds up in the last, say that they do pit last 17 laps or so?
Yeah, it's 2 seconds a lap, basically.
2 seconds a lap, which is almost impossible. And your first 2 laps, your tires still got to warm up a little bit, So, I was about to say, look at the clouds. If we can get a bit of rain at the end of this race, there is some serious clouds there, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, what would change things is a safety car.
A safety car rain or safety car, and that actually would make a huge difference. So yeah, as I say, you never know what's going to happen, but we've still got a lot of racing to go and a lot of interesting things.
I remember how boring Abu Dhabi was looking at that stage last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like, oh, here we go, and then bang.
But that is Formula One for you. So we've still got a couple laps. There's still a lot of racing to go. Ricciardo really struggling on the hards. If there's one thing that's quite interesting, I see he's now 20 seconds behind Mick Schumacher, who's been out on the mediums for a lot longer. Those hards are clearly not the tires to go for. That's why I'm wondering if a softer tire could really make a big difference. Like, there's obviously a big jump between the mediums to the hards. Is there going to be a big jump if you had to go from softs to mediums?
I mean, the car's been nowhere on those hards.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Really not paid off.
Yeah, that gamble's not paid off. What I'm saying is that the compound, so obviously there's such a big difference between going medium compound to hard compound. I'd love to know, is there going to be that big of a difference if you go soft compound compared to the medium?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
So, because that's a big difference. I mean, he just cannot get going on, and it's much fresher tires. So obviously a softer compound look like it's going to be a bit better, but we'll see what happens. Some thick clouds out there. I'd love to see a bit of sprinkle of rain, and let's get the show on the road, because then Mac's going to be panicking a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal to just watch another 15 laps of the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, so now having a go at Magnussen. Magnussen currently in the points again, eh? Sonoda, as I say that, Sonoda outpounced Magnussen. There's no issues there. Jeepers, that was easy.
You have to think if you're Charles Leclerc coming away from this weekend with all the mixed conditions, wet, dry, intermediates, you name it, and you still come away with a third place in that championship lead. Not lost out too much. Quite incredible.
I think he would still be fairly happy with that as we can ride on board with young Yuki.
Sonoda, absolutely no issues going past Magnussen, whatever.
Yeah, he's fired up. You love to see that, eh?
That was straightforward. It was a nice move there.
Yeah.
Nice and tidy, nice and tidy.
Max still pulling away, hey? So really not struggling on the mediums at all, 13 seconds. And Perez also starting to pull away from the Ferrari, which is also pretty good in terms of the title race this season. I think it's nice to see. It's kind of been, the title race has kind of been like, it's all Ferrari, it's all Ferrari, it's all Ferrari. But today, Red Bull really looking strong out at Imola. Be interesting to see as we're going forward in the next few races if they can keep this sort of momentum. But certainly like a back and forth between Ferrari. I was worried that Red Bull might just be out of the pace this season, but after this race, I'm starting to think actually they very much could still be on the pace for the season. So
I think the pace was fast. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a case of as long as they're going to finish the race,
yes,
they're going to be right up there all the entire time.
Yes,
and Hamilton just, I mean, the Merc is just nowhere at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
I see what Ricardo's lap times are doing, but they are terrible. Definitely was the wrong decision to go into those hards because Ricardo is
one of the teams that's taken off some paint and some stickers for this race to try and lighten their car weight. And they've got to quite an extreme edge of that. It's 4 carbon fiber and pink on that Williams. It's really working for them. So Alex Albon, no points at the moment, not points in the lead position. Still has to go off on to go with the 5.
Okay, Leclerc's starting to put in some nice lap times, it looks like there. Certainly starting to speed up a little bit, but guys really are not suffering from dig too much. Max still putting in 120, so I mean, it's not like the tires are really bumming out at all here. So it doesn't look like anyone's going to want to make any sort of changes. Although, here comes Charles Leclerc.
There it is. They make you play.
So this is going to be super interesting to see. I can only assume they're going to go softs here, and we're going to really
see
what
I was going to say now is, do they go for the fastest lap?
Yeah, I guess that's yeah. Third place and fastest lap is better than just third place. Certainly.
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing that they'll be thinking now. Try and get them out. Is he going to get there ahead of Norris?
Still can't see Norris yet. And there's Charles.
Yeah, no, there's Norris. It's going to come out just ahead, but he's not going to have the heat in the tires yet. So one imagines that Norris is going to get past him anyway.
Oh, that's
I think give him a couple of laps, he'll take the position back quite easily.
Yeah. Well, it's still going to take 1 or 2 laps, I think, just to get those tires warm. But I'm really interested to see the performance of these soft tires, Steve.
Yeah, I see. It's all about getting the. Yes, he's not even worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good move from Ferrari. Just warm up the tires. You've still got 13 laps to get back into third. Yeah. And then it just comes down to and you've got open road ahead of you. So
and DRS is enabled, so I can imagine it shouldn't be too hard of an overtake here for Leclerc. I'll be shocked if it is. Take third place and go for fastest lap. Probably the best strategy that they can implement right now. And Red Bull also going to take out the softs. Very interesting.
Yeah, so they're going to say, no, you're not taking our fastest lap, mate.
Yeah, I think.
Well, because Perez into the pit stop.
Yeah, so I think that's certainly what they're trying to do. They're trying to fight back for that fastest lap, and little bit interesting at the end here. What's going to happen? And that certainly covers Ferrari's strategy for whatever case that the soft is extremely fast. I think obviously Red Bull just covering that maneuver from that side as well.
The question now is, when do they box Verstappen? Do they box him now? We'll leave him out there for a bit.
I think they leave him
Yeah,
out.
well, there goes Leclerc on the inside of Norris.
And that was very quick. One lap and he's already got those tires up to
and
speed.
Now, obviously, all of a sudden, as I said, now he's getting a bit closer to Perez now, and he's got warmer.
Yeah. 2 seconds, yeah, on the warmer tires, correct.
Warm tires. So actually, this could have actually worked out really well for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because if you can catch Perez before those tires warm up, and
he's already taken 0.3 seconds. Yeah, he's already climbed in.
Yeah, here comes
and Max is also going to go for the pits.
I mean, it's amazing. Now this is where, as a pit crew,
you got to be at your
stuff up. You don't even need to have like the best stop. You just need to have an uneventful stop.
And here we go. It's always interesting to see Red Bull got one of the best pit crews, if not the best. And that was tidy. That's all you have to do. 2.3.
2.3. That's exactly what you need. I mean, it's weird how good they are in comparison. No one seems to be able to catch them.
Yeah, I'd love to know what they like training regimes like that. They're so clinical on their pit stops.
Yeah, I see Leclerc already within a second of Perez.
Yeah, and that's DRS. So I'd love to see what's going to happen between these two now. At least we'll get a bit of racing at the end of this race here. And he's got DRS. There it is.
Yeah, into half a second now. So I think this is going to be one interesting. Oh, interesting.
Pulling for new mediums. Well, as I said, the softs usually can pull out about 10 laps from them. They've certainly gone onto them a little bit early. But what sort of time is Leclerc putting in 1:19? So he's already putting in
fastest lap.
Almost a second quicker than what the average was on the mediums.
I know that we should have gone for mediums. Like, okay, sorry, dude, we didn't.
Yeah,
shut up and race.
But I mean, yeah, how much quicker would the mediums have really been? I guess he's just worried about degradation, but degradation hasn't been too bad considering it's not so hot. So I think
and also, I mean,
the right plan.
Perez has got 1 lap on him, so is it going to be that much difference?
Yeah. Let's see if what happens here now that the tires have warmed up for Perez. Is he going to start pulling away? What sort of times does he put in? Now Perez putting in a 1:18, and so is Charles Leclerc. Some really good times coming in now on these soft tires.
Yeah, well, Perez faster in the second sector there.
I think this should be the DRS zone, if I'm not mistaken.
Another fastest lap there for Leclerc.
No, both them flying we're getting certainly a second quicker on these soft tires than what we were on the mediums. So
it'll be interesting to see if anybody else decides not to go soft. Seeing as it obviously is very much quicker. Is anybody else going to make a play?
Yeah, and one thing's for certain is Daniel Ricciardo is still putting in some really slow times with those hards.
Yeah,
I think he would have much preferred to have thrown on the medium tires and a new set of mediums and a new set of hards. But obviously a disappointing one for Daniel Ricciardo. I mean, everything that tells me is that Charles Leclerc shouldn't really be able to catch Perez here, just based off the pace for the entire race.
Except that he's faster there in the first sector.
Yeah, he has gone faster in the first sector. Oh, there he goes!
Oh,
he's
no, you idiot!
Too aggressive on the chicane, and that's Charles Leclerc.
I think he's off the front wing, by the way.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it looked like he had some serious damage. And that puts Lando Norris now up into 3rd place. Yeah, he's really struggling to turn. He's in, yeah.
Oh, my living. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that's got to be heartbreak for Ferrari. This is certainly going to be a race to forget in Italy.
I mean, he's going to come on to 8th. I mean, really? And Sonoda's flying around this track, by the way. What a day for Red Bull. Oh, Leclerc, you idiot.
Norris moves up into the podium places. A lonely afternoon that was looking like a certainty for fourth. Now looks like a certainty for third. George Russell moves up in the fourth. Valtteri Bottas fifth. Then comes Sonoda in sixth. And it's all because at this moment.
You can see Aircraft, look how much he goes to the right hand side. Beaches it on this big sausage curve.
Yeah, just too aggressive, I think, there, Steve.
Yeah,
It's
I think just desperately trying to get. I mean, he was putting in fast step after fast lap. You can see there.
yeah, he was driving fantastic, but I mean, your margins are so fine when you're just so aggressive on it. That's got to just be absolute heartbreak for everyone in Italy right now. Yeah, and that's such a shame because it really was starting to look like we are going to have a nice dice at the end there between Perez and Leclerc.
Yeah,
I can't imagine now the top three are going to change, if I'm honest with you.
Did you say that? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Right. So what can Leclerc do? Probably can catch. You can catch Magnussen, but after that, it's 5 seconds. You got to try and get to Vettel.
Yeah.
But they are much quicker, I suppose. I mean, he is about two seconds. Vettel is sitting in the 1-2-2s, so he's 4 seconds. He's about 5 seconds faster, to be fair, on the softs.
And it's such a pity for Ferrari. I think they did the right strategy, putting on the soft, put a bit of pressure on everyone, opened the gap, really caught up to Perez, and just what was looking like a great drive just fell apart on one chicane, which has got to be a lot of heartbreak for Leclerc. He was driving really well, and yeah, it's got to be a tough one.
And nice to be the driver, I was saying, because earlier was saying that when the pit crew stuffs up and you go and like have words with them later. It's not like the pit crew when he gets to come and goes to say, "Hey, dude, come on."
Yeah, no, exactly. He's still not saying he's not feeling great, old Charles Leclerc. I'm hoping now he's going to even finish this race. But I'm just looking at how he's driving from this helmet cam, and it doesn't look very nice. Like, it just doesn't look as steady as it once was. He's going to have a look at Kevin Magnussen as well.
I think you'll be able to get past Kevin Magnussen, but I suppose, so if you can get past Magnussen, maybe be able to reel in Vettel. There he goes.
Pretty steady again. The car bouncing a lot there.
All right, 6 seconds onto Vettel. Yeah, 7th is about the best they can go. I mean, he's 25 seconds off of, he's 27 seconds off Sonoda. So from an easy third, they're going to get 7th max at this stage. And the Red Bull is just so comfortable at the top there. Oh, there you go. Russell struggling with understeer, apparently. So Bottas is going after Russell, by the way.
Yeah, I see that within 1 second.
He'll love to do that.
No one out of the what was the top three went in for the softs. So I see
Schumacher has.
But it's it's probably a bit late now. Yeah, there's a bit of a revenge race going on.
I mean, if there's one car that Bottas would like to see in front of him,
it's this George Russell. And if you go past him, you flip him the bird. As well. That's what you need to do.
I mean, interested to see what Lando Norris' career path looks like.
Yeah, in terms of where he goes next, I think he's a McLaren guy for quite a while now. He's just got to hope that the McLarens really start to find a bit more pace.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you ever see him being? I mean, he's such a young driver. Do you ever see him maturing and becoming like a Ferrari or a Mercedes driver? He certainly, I imagine, he is a McLaren driver for the next few years. But
Well, I'm just trying to think. I mean, you look at Ferrari, and I mean, Sainz has just signed on to what 2024, so it's another 2 years from him. Leclerc's their golden boy, so he's not going anytime soon.
Yeah.
Mercedes
just got George Russell as
just
well.
got George Russell. I mean, Hamilton maybe. I don't think he's planning on going anytime soon. The only player. I mean, you wonder about a Red Bull.
Yeah,
When
potentially.
Perez moves on.
Potentially a Red Bull. Yeah, so it is an interesting career path he's on. Who do you think is the most underperforming of all the youngsters between Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Lando Norris?
Underperforming or best performing?
Underperforming. So which of them do you think is the worst? I mean, you would assume Lando Norris in the McLaren, but I don't know. Like obviously, the other two have kind of gone to Mercedes and Ferrari, and you still stuck at McLaren.
Yeah, and also Russell's gone to Mercedes, and he's currently out driving Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah.
So it would be harsh to say it's Russell, but yeah, it probably is Norris.
Well, I don't know if you just heard what Perez said on the radio there, or what the team said, but they just said a few spots of rain on turn 7.
Huge, with 4 laps to go.
With 4 laps to go, hopefully a couple more spots of rain, and we do have one last.
A bit of a slippery last few laps. And suddenly the guys in the mediums might be. I just want to see Bottas getting into that 4th.
And here's the DRS. Let's see if he's going to start reeling in that Mercedes. I mean, in last season, if you ever told me I'd see Alfa.
There he goes. Having a look.
Yeah, he's right on him.
Or did you see an Alpha chasing down a Merc?
Yeah, I would have said you're a liar, you know. Yet here we are. Bottas in the Alfa Romeo taking down George Russell in the Mercedes.
And George Russell, whilst Hamilton the
outside into the inside.
So yeah, so did reel into Vettel, I'd say he's about 5 seconds faster on those softs.
Yeah.
But Tsunoda's not driving. I think Tsunoda from the looks was actually clocking the best times on the mediums. Him and Bottas are all sitting there in the 120s.
I think it's going to be too hard for Leclerc to bring in Tsunoda. I'd imagine.
Tsunoda's driving too well.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's only about 2 seconds faster than Tsunoda, so he doesn't have the time. But it's actually one nice little drive there by Tsunoda. I mean, he's kind of gone a little bit sort of undercover there. He was almost, found himself in 6th there.
Yeah, and that's another call from Russell's crew there, from the Merc team, saying to him that forecasting rain on the last 2 laps.
Yeah, Bottas is getting there.
Yeah, there's the DRS again. He's really should be close to George Russell, you'd assume now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Talking about that pit stop issue that he had.
Yeah.
Consecutive podiums here in Imola, and it's been a super drive from Lando Norris, keeping out of trouble, keeping his nose clean.
I mean, they're saying a super drive. He didn't do much, did he?
Yeah, didn't do much.
I don't think he actually. I don't think he really overtook anybody. He kind of just survived that early, like just chaos, really, and then just plodded away.
Yeah.
And waited for everything to happen around him. It's funny how sometimes that can help. You just drive your own race, clocking in decent times, nothing like extremely quick, just reasonable times throughout the race, and let stuff happen around you.
Yeah. Right, winding down to the last 2 laps of the race.
It all comes down to Bottas versus Russell, and that's really the only battle we're going to see here.
I will say Charles Leclerc certainly reeled in Tsunoda a significant amount. He's caught up.
He's quick. He's on his tail all of a sudden, eh?
2.5 seconds, and there's Bottas having a look on the inside there for the Mercedes.
Oh, he's close, yeah.
He's very close. You would think something's happened. The next 2 laps could be quite an exciting finish between these two. And I'm sure this would be a personal victory for Bottas if he can get ahead. Yeah, this is a great little rivalry that we witnessing.
Let's go and give Toto Wolff the eyes.
Yeah, and he is very close there. Both looking quite neat. Wow, it was a great corner there for Bottas.
And Leclerc all of a sudden within almost a half a second, so that could also be a little bit. He actually might be able to get into sixth there.
Yeah. He really reeled in that AlphaTauri. Apparently 2 name changes from Liverpool in the Everton derby tonight. Can't confirm yet who's in and who's out. Right, winding down to the last lap of the race. Leclerc gonna have a sniff at Tsunoda, I think.
Yeah,
and I'm
Bottas
hoping
is right. Oh, he's having a look. He's having a look.
He's just
There
too
he
far
is. He's
behind
right on the edge here.
I didn't hear what Max said. I didn't hear what he said. Bottas again, right on him here. Going to come down to the last lap, I think, Steve.
Yeah, definitely. He's so close. In fact, I reckon he might actually make a move in the next.
Let's see how he gets out of the corner there. I think the problem is this just Mercedes just on the straight line just can pull away. You know? It's only really when the AlphaTauri gets the Alfa Romeo gets the DRS that they really
he's close. Yeah, I think if he can keep this distance at that DRS zone, then I think he should be able to find it.
That. Yeah, one tidy lap here to keep this distance and use that DRS in the last. Oh, that was a little bit untidy on the exit there of the last chicane.
Clear past Tsunoda, by the way.
Yeah, I mean he did that quite quick, and what's already
one. He's already got 2 seconds on him.
I mean, I'm wondering is Tsunoda got a problem? Like, how's he going so slow? Because I mean, Leclerc caught about 6 seconds. Oh, I guess he is on the mediums. I was going to say caught about 6 seconds really quick. There's Bottas with the DRS. Can have another look on the outside.
He's having another look. He's having another look.
Behind.
I don't think he's going to do it, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that should seal his fate. That's the only turn that you kind of see him get that close on is when he's got the DRS. Otherwise, he's not looking great. Down to the last lap, Steve. Actually, been a fantastic race by Max. Kept level-headed. Didn't really do anything wrong. And there it is.
Just faultless, really. Didn't put a toe wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't really under too much pressure, but a great start from him, and I think such a big start at the beginning really set him up. And Red Bull obviously had the pace this weekend, and all spoils are going to go to them. 1 and 2 for Red Bull, and that's a fantastic result for Red Bull.
I suppose it's a skill in itself, you know, when you lead from the start and you just have to sit there continuously putting down the pace.
Yeah, absolutely, and you just don't make any mistakes. And quite a few people were making mistakes out there. I mean, we saw Perez make a mistake, we saw Lando Norris make a mistake, and Max made absolutely no mistakes, and certainly got a great start off the line. Perez did his job as well, getting a great start off the line. And from there, I think it was always Red Bull's race. The only thing that was ever going to interfere with that was any sort of weather or strategy, which didn't turn out to affect us, Steve. And it's a great one. Sure, Red Bull are going to pop some champagne tonight after that great race.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect weekend for them, man.
Yeah, great
good sprint, good race here, fastest lap as well. So Bottas, I mean, not managed to get past Russell, but 5th place for him. He'll take that.
I'm sure he'll be very happy. I think he's going to think to himself, maybe he could have got Russell. But
I think he'll look back at that pit stop.
Yeah, it's the pit stop is what really stopped them from getting a 4th place, which really would have been an amazing result for them. So that's where they're going to have eyes in the pit lane.
Yeah, and that's something that people don't even think about when you go down to sort of the lower team and stuff like that. It's not just the case of the car's not necessarily as fast. You know, you don't always have the best as good a pit crew and stuff like that.
Bulls side by side, they're fantastic. This is a huge win for the title race as well. I think this is really gives Red Bull the momentum they've been needing. As I said, the first few races you kind of been thinking it's all Ferrari engines, all that sort of stuff, and Red Bull's put on a flawless performance from the pit crew to driver 1 and 2, and they really showed a lot of pace today, which must be quite a threatening thing for all Ferrari fans this season to see. And there is one.
Yeah, well, maybe not the most exciting race, but there was a bit of drama towards the end there with Leclerc making a mistake and Bottas having a go at Russell. But
absolutely, as I said, I do think in the greater scheme of things, it was a very telling race for what Lando very happy there. But it's a very telling race for what the rest of the season could look like. With Red Bull, really do have the pace to challenge Ferrari, and there was a long time that I thought that they might not actually have the pace to challenge Ferrari, but certainly after today, no question, Red Bull do have the pace there, and there it is, 1 and 2, great drive.
Yeah, and a disaster day for Ferrari, really. I mean, 6th place when
in Italy,
they would have been sitting there thinking. I'm sure that they would have woken up this morning thinking 3-4 at the least.
At least, yeah. I'm pretty sure they were thinking they could win it. So the momentum.
Yeah, I think they're probably. I mean, especially if it had rained.
Yeah.
You know, they were quick in the rain. I mean, they were so quick in the rain on Friday.
Yeah. And there's Max. Yeah.
Yeah, Red Bull's getting very drunk tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a great win for them. Yeah, not the most exciting race, but certainly very interesting for the championship this season to see the Red Bulls.
Yeah, I suppose in many ways, even as a Ferrari fan, it's good to see that there is pace in that Red Bull. You know, we didn't see the best Ferrari. Although having said, I mean, to be fair, Leclerc was catching Perez when he was pushing a bit too hard there. So, you know, I think Red Bull were the fastest car by a mile today. But I mean, Ferrari, once he went on the softs, wasn't far behind Perez. It wasn't really going to challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Verstappen, but yeah, I think if we can get to 2 horses, as you said, it's just a pity we're not happy. There's no 3rd horse in the race at the moment.
Yeah, that is the pity. It's just a shame Merck's not there.
All right. Well, then we'll probably wrap it up there. Tavares, appreciate you for pulling through for the first ever Forever Sports watch along. And where are we next week? Is it next week or the week after?
I think it might be next week. I haven't had a look yet.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's next week as well. As we sort of finally get the European season underway.
Yeah.
So
they usually fire once they're in Europe. They fire a couple races back to back. And I'm going to confirm with you right now. Round 5 actually in United States on the 6th of May, Steve.
That is next weekend.
I think 6th to the I think it's the following weekend.
No, next weekend is following weekend after that. So next week's 1st of May. Yeah. What time is the race there then? Does it say?
9:30 race time. In
the evening.
Yeah.
Banging.
Okay. Cool, Steve.
Man, keep well. We'll see you soon. And to everybody else, please do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. We'll probably try and put a bit more F1 content out so we can get more people onto the watch along. But nice to get one going. And we'll see you guys throughout the week for a couple of live news shows and a lot more content coming your way across all the various sporting codes. Keep well, and I'll see you guys all soon.
I wouldn't say walk in the park, but was any moment difficult for you? The start, I guess, was probably the most